Welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Arena. This is part 6. I'll be doing a couple things in this video. The very first thing I'll be doing is going and getting the Staff of Magnus. That'll be very quick, and then we'll go get the third piece of the Staff of Chaos, which is located in Elden Grove. Alright, I've skipped to the part where I find the map to the Staff of Magnus. A lot of these artifact dungeons are very, very similar and pretty boring. They can also be pretty long. And our dungeon for the Staff of Magnus is in the province of Morrowind. And I'll skip to the part where I find the Staff of Magnus, because, again, this is boring. And here it is, the legendary Staff of Magnus. And now we're back into town with our fancy new Staff of Magnus. We'll be going into the palace to start our quest for the next piece of the Staff of Chaos. So as with most of the other quests, we'll be going to find either a map or piece to get to the map to the final dungeon to get the Staff of Chaos. In this case, we're going to go to Celine's Web to find a diamond to help us get to the final dungeon. Kind of skip to where the door to the next level is. Normally you'd have to find the key for this, but I've got an open spell. Here's the second level. And it's not too far from the entrance here. I do wander off at first, just to see what else is in here, but don't believe there's really much of note. So here's our door. Again, you'd have to find a key for this, but of course there's another spider hitting me. But I have an open spell, so I don't need that key. And there's our diamond. Now we can go find the third piece of the Staff of Chaos. Off to get the quest for the Elden Grove location. shall be off to Elden Grove now. So this first section of Elden Grove is not your typical dungeon. It's this foggy maze with ghosts and wolves all about it. The door is in the southeast, if I remember correctly. It's a little tricky to get around because you really can't see much. But follow the walls and you'll eventually get there. And I will skip to about when I get there. So we're getting close. There's really not much notable loot here. Here's a ghost. These guys can be pretty tricky. They can do quite a bit of damage too. There he goes. So I'm near the far southeast section of the map. And here we go. Second level. This level is a little bit more traditional dungeon. And this one is pretty interesting. You can find a boat that'll take you right to the place you need up in the northwest. So here is the boat, and you pretty much just ride it west until you can't go west anymore, and you just kind of go north of quite a ways. There's an island up here. It's not all the way north, but it's pretty far north. So here I've got to go just a touch east. And right here is your platform to the entrance. Now, these enemies can be pretty brutal. Which I do find out here because I end up dying to these enemies here several times. Now this is my second is performed by my first, and it is thought a thief by the marks of my hole might be caught. Who am I? This is a footstep. Or footsteps. So here's where I mistakenly try to pick up the Staff of Chaos piece here, and I die several times. I have made a montage of all of my deaths, so enjoy. Alright. Coming up on the last attempt. I finally defeated these enemies. And I've acquired the third piece of the Staff of Chaos. So now off to a town to sleep and get our next quest. So our next quest is in the Halls of Colossus. And then we'll get our fourth piece to the Staff of Chaos.